Yes, you can take pictures. I love it. He's even done in England.
Hey! Southgate! I actually wore this. I actually wore this on the actual day of the final, believe it or not.
I thought it was out.
I know, and I saw Dear England as well. Amazing. Thank you.
On all of the socials. I am on social, but mainly active on Twitter. So if anyone still uses that platform, formerly known as, please do also tag me, and I will reshare it. Sean and Alex are also on everywhere, including Twitter, and I tend to tweet there with their handles, so give them shout out when they say something invariably interesting. Okay, hands up. Who's a football fan? Okay, nice. Hands. Oh wait, did you both raise your hands? Oh, interesting. Controversial already. Ooh. Who's a musical theater fan? Okay, see, there's a lot of crossover here. Okay. Who was in Wembley that July day, 2021? Yes. Okay.
Just on Wembley Way.
My running group started their run on Sunday morning on Wembley Way.
Oh my God! No way.
And then we came back, it was about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh.
And who was familiar already with the Bumper guy? Yeah, you all knew the Bumper guy. And who thinks England is going to win the 2024 Euro?
Yes. Yeah. Come on.
I don't know what's going on.
And who already knows they have a question they want to ask? Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, we'll come to you in a minute. Give me a chance. Okay, so I am joined, as I said, on the stage by the wonderful Alex Hill, who both wrote and obviously performed Why I Stuck a Flare Up My Arse for England, and that's the last time I'll say the full title. And the director, Sean Turner.
Woo!
Thank you guys, thank you. So if you don't know, Bumper guy was a real guy. Alex was inspired by it. He's going to talk about that in a moment. But this play, you first did it in Edinburgh last year, then had a run at the Old Red Lion Theatre in Islington in London, and now you've brought it back here, and it is running, sharing this space in kind of Edinburgh style, I like to think, with another one-man show. So this is why we're coming at different times and very quick change of the set. Well done. And you're going back to Edinburgh again this year, is that right?
We are, yeah.
Wonderful. So you are getting very familiar with Bump There Guy. And we're gonna hear it. We're gonna hear about that. But Alex, let me start with you. So where were you on that day in July 2021? Not with this man's running club, but somewhere else.
I was close. I was on Wembley Way, but I didn't go to the game. No, I didn't have the tickets. I love football, so I'm a Brentford fan, but I've never been part of the England loyalty scheme. So I've been to England games, but I've never got enough points for the tournaments and that, as much as I'd love to. But I think people would start to get annoyed if I went every week during summer as well as, domestic season. So I was on Wembley Way because I saw that on Twitter it was, blowing up, and I was like, that's interesting. I'll go and soak up the atmosphere. I had somewhere to watch the game out of London. So me and a mate went on the tube. We got to Wembley Way, and we got this photo of us, literally, like I said, at the top of Wembley Park tube station. Everyone, like I said, crammed in, shoulder to shoulder, with just literally smoke, whether it be from flares or just heat, because it was so hot that day as well. I was like, this is like the end of the world.
Yes, I think we should.
Okay, yes. Just in case, I don't
We can
think
all
it's explicit
swear.
to say
Feel
now.
free.
It was just unbelievable, and I thought, that's really, really never seen anything like it. And got on the tube home, and it was just like, even the whole of London was just kind of encapsulated by it. I was like, this is mental. Like, first kind of tournament that I've lived through that has been on home turf, and it was unbelievable. I literally was on the train, and that is when I saw this photo of this bloke sticking a flower in his arse. And I thought,
Wow.
that is like everyone did. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Like, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was a representation of the country or blah blah. I just thought it was funny, to be honest with you. A bit reckless, but I've done things in my life. I've got 4 fingers on one hand. That's another story. exactly. So there's, everyone does stupid things, but I knew that was the starting image for the play. And then after drama school, it stayed with me, and I started writing, and just basically based on my experiences going to Brentford games and watching England at the pub, and then crafted this little monologue, and it just grew into an hour show. Really, here we are now.
Was it on the day that you thought this would be a great play, or?
No, because I was a bit too drunk.
Yeah.
But I thought there was definitely something. It would stay with me, I think.
Okay, Sean, over to you. You kind of half raised your hand on the football fan thing.
Yeah.
But, before we get to football, how did you first meet Alex?
I met Alex through his head of acting,
Yeah.
Marcus, who was Arse, who I've known kind of tangentially through the industry and through working at Arse and things and doing stuff. And he got in touch with me and said that this brilliant student that he had had this great play. He thought it was really fun. He thought it might be something I'd be interested in. So I read it and I thought, yeah, there's something here. In the right hands, this will work.
And you thought there was something interesting, even though you're not a football fanatic, but because you have done other plays related
Yeah,
to
I mean,
football.
I love sports. I'm a big sports fan.
Yeah.
It's just not necessarily football's not my first love. It's
Yeah.
American football, and basketball, and things, and other sports that I'm more interested in. So I kind of understand sports, and I understand the world of sports, and I definitely, as much as the next one, I get involved when the European Championships or the World Cup or one of the things.
Yeah.
But yeah, weirdly, I have now directed 4 plays about football.
What were the other ones?
Over the course of my career, I did a show called Love Thy Brother, which was about an openly gay footballer. It's quite some time ago. Gosh, that's the only one that's sticking in my mind.
Okay. One plays about football.
A few plays
But
about football.
when we were chatting about this before, you said something to me which I thought was so interesting, that in your experience, all plays about football
Yeah.
are really about male mental health.
Yeah.
And this comes across very clearly in this play.
Yeah.
But tell me why that is all plays. Why do you think that is?
Because
And then I want to know if you agree.
And I think the same is like obviously true with the other big football player. Well, 2 of them, Red Pitch and Dear England, lots of plays about football. I don't know. I think because for a lot of men, it's the outlet. It's the space in which one can be openly emotional, can kind of communicate in that manner with male friends, and it's a big part of social life. It's a big part of how you have communities and tribes, and I think that it's a beautiful lens for telling those kind of stories. And I think one of the most amazing things about this show is the different audiences that we have coming in to see the show. It's a much more male skewing audience than your average theatre audience, which is awesome. It's a really difficult thing to do when you make theatre, to get them to come and see it. I'm meant to book theatre and things. So there's something about it that speaks to the psyche, and it's a lens through which creators can look at those stories, I think. So yeah.
And what do you think, Alex? Did it occur to you when you first started writing it that it was something to do with male mental health?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, like it's I was really interested in disguising it as a lads play, which it is. Like it is for 2/3. It is. It's so much fun to do, and to hear people kind of responding in a fun way. So lovely every night. But yeah, I think it's important that it has that message at the end of it, and I think people seem to take a lot away from that. And like Sean said, like the bloke tonight, he definitely had me. He didn't know what interval was. Like he didn't know what that was. It's such because I know a lot of my mates from football don't go to the theatre, and they're like when the first show that I ever did of this at the Old Red Line was 40 family and friends, pretty much, maybe bar 3 or 4 people that had seen it on Facebook or something. But that was bonkers because it was wild.
Totally wild.
Downstairs, the Old Red Line was like Millwall away.
Brilliant.
And tiny, tiny little
In a
place.
proper football pub as well.
It is.
It's a real football
Yeah.
pub.
Oh, how wonderful! I wish I'd been there. Okay, questions in the audience. First row, please. Yes, running man.
Yeah, just the, obviously you guys did theatre, both football matches, experiences. Your references to going to Les Mis in the play, is that part of it? To kind of show the pull between the dad and the
I think so. Yeah, that was the first scene that I kind of really crafted for the play, and it's also my favourite scene to do because it's so much fun just sitting there. But
I'm surprised it's not full,
thank you
so
so
great.
much. Thank
It was
you.
so great, and you just got the best
Thank you so much. What's your name? Sorry.
Brent.
Nice to meet you. But yeah, like that scene was the first thing. I was really keen to litter it with musical theatre references like, the whole way through because I thought otherwise it will just be football crowd, which is lovely. But I wanted theatre audiences to come in and go, I get that. I get the Billy Elliot bit. I think there's about 7 musical theatre references throughout the show. Some a little bit like more is obviously an Oliver reference and stuff like that. Quite hidden. Something is brewing.
I got that one.
You get that one?
Yeah.
I didn't know that
Something
one.
is brewing, about to begin. Yeah.
Ah.
Mary Poppins. Yeah, it's a Mary Poppins.
Brilliant. Yeah.
But yes, I've always been caught in this weird Venn diagram where like, I'll be finishing. There was one day where it was Sheffield Wednesday. It was the last game at Brentford at Griffin Park. We won 5-0, and I went for a beer after. But I had a ticket for the old Vic. Daniel Radcliffe was doing Samuel Beckett Endgame with.
That's not a musical.
Adam. No. I love the theatre as well. So I got on this train. I was like, yeah. I woke up in Felton, and I said to the mate, I was like, this is going to Waterloo. When it's been at Waterloo, and we're going back now. And I looked at the time, I missed the show.
Ah.
It was a nightmare, but it was the last time I'd ever been at football. But my mates were like, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? Go to the theatre. What's that all about? Like, stay here, have a beer. In hindsight, I probably should have, because I would have been able to carry on. But the point is for some reason, I think they're very similar things.
Yes.
You don't know pun what the end game is, Do you know what I mean? It's like you don't know. That's what I love about it. You go to any theatre ever, and it's like don't know what's going to happen, and anything can happen. And it's like anything could go wrong.
That's the thing I have to say that I love most about this play, apart from your performance and everything else, but it is that crossover, because I've always loved theatre and sport, and obviously we have a lot of people in the audience, and it drives me crazy that people can't see that sport is naturally theatrical, and it is high drama, that's why we love it. Anyway, so come back to more theatre, yes? Second row.
Obviously haven't met the guy. It's the first one. That guy. Have you met him? What is it? Does he know anything about the play?
No, I've reached out to him on Facebook. I'm not sure if it's his real Facebook because his profile picture is him in a bucket hat and his cover photo is him sticking a flower in his ass. I messaged him. It had pretty accurate location and stuff from what I know. We've got mutual people that know him somehow. But yeah, never heard of him.
But you have met the photographer who took the famous photo.
Ah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, Elliot, who was there that morning to manage to capture that photo in Leicester Square, got in touch with Alex asking to recreate the photo.
And you didn't do it?
No, I didn't. I got here at 12:30 on a Thursday. They're like, right, we're going around this Southwark Park. Elliot was like, yeah, with a lit. They're like, going to light flare in daylight, dog walkers and everything. Brilliant. I was bought one of those boxes for me to stand on, and Elliot was the photographer. He was like, it'll be fine, mate. Honestly, just hang. The dogs are going crazy, and I'm stood there in my underpants, people looking out their windows. So it's just like, chuck it in a bucket of water now. We run out of Southwark. I felt like this. Yeah. I shouldn't have admitted to that.
How many Fitz productions end up on page 3 of the Sun?
You're gonna have to do a sequel that is like behind the scenes. Wonderful. Yes, here please.
Well, thank you, Alex, for that was amazing.
Thank you, mate. Thank
Really
you so much. Cheers.
And your energy, just amazing.
Thank you.
Just electrifying, just beautiful. I was just so struck by the young masculinity and all that frustrated male sexuality, frustration, anger, and emotion, family baggage, and all the rest of it. And I just thought there's a lot of that in there. It's a coming of age story. And I was wondering, I don't know. I mean, is there a social commentary? Is there something about society in this? I mean, it's such a powerful play, and you put it together wonderfully. And I just like, is there something? I feel like a lesson that can be learned from it. I mean, this young man, this is not a bad kid. He wants, as your character said beautifully, I wanted to belong. I want to be part of a tribe.
Yeah.
Is there something positive in your
Positive in the
it's
belonging.
Oh
yeah, absolutely.
A lesson to be learned, as it were.
Yeah, I don't hate Billy for what he does. I actually don't, because I sympathise and empathise with people being taken along on that journey. Obviously, he's throughout he's ignoring the signs that his closest people to him are slipping away. Eventually, he loses the closest ever person to him, and that's a tragedy. But I completely empathise with football fans getting on the train at like 8 AM on a Saturday morning, because that is their time, and I know it sometimes spills over to the general public, and I know it's hard for other people on the train sometimes. But actually, it's doing some good for them. Like sometimes it is. I think it does make them feel, a bit more validated at times, and like rein it in, and when it gets fucking homophobic, racist, and that's not on, obviously. But I think there is a time for those men to feel like that. And when I get to Brentford, I'm a different person for 90 minutes. I absolutely am. I love it because you can just fucking scream and it's a release. But I don't know. I didn't want to write something that felt bashful of football fans. I wouldn't want football fans to come in here and go, "Oh yeah, I'm a knob."
Yeah.
Quite right.
Really.
And I think that's what makes the play so work and makes it so wonderful. It's the authenticity that Alex brings to it. But it isn't that. It's not trying to be a social commentary. It just is social commentary because of what it's talking about. But I think it's so uncynical, and it's just this beautiful portrayal of this man.
I noticed the other night when we came that myself and many of us, in terms of the message to take away, we were taking photos of the writing on the ball, which, the last words of the play, the conversations we should have had. Seems to me that's about a very powerful message that I, for one, took. Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much. Hi there, Alex. Can I just say, well done. It was an absolute. I was moved to tears with me and my dad. I mean, it was such a relatable story for me and everything. My questions are two-part, if you don't mind. I'll say this quickly. One silly, one serious. The silly one is, what has been your favourite memory from any England game you might have watched? And your serious question is, since you were heavily inspired by the Bumflare Man to write this and obviously base it on that, and being a real life event, for any future work that you might consider doing as an upcoming writer and performer, would there be any other real life events that you might be wanting to that might inspire you to write future plays in some way?
Two unbelievable questions. First question, best England moment will be the semi-final against Denmark. I was around at a mate's house. I went to the toilet, and as I was walking, they had it on in their lounge. We were watching it in their garden. They put like a TV out in the garden. I walked into their lounge to go for a wee. I looked up. Damsgaard scored that free kick. I thought, this is it. Like, we're shit, man. Come back out. We get back into the game, and then Kane gets that penalty. Was it Sterling? Someone won the penalty.
Sterling. It was Sterling.
And then Kane takes it, and he misses. Kasper Schmeichel saves it. And I'm thinking, bollocks!
Yeah.
Blasts it in the back, and we literally pelted down the bottom of the garden, just bundled on each other. I breathed for about 20 seconds. It was because fine. That's the moment in the play. It was like final. Like,
Yeah.
And the second question was any real life event. There's lots of plays being done, like the Gwyneth Paltrow goes skiing and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one, or the Lady Di one, but I don't know. I would have to have a think about that. I think maybe I don't know. I actually don't know.
Well,
No, that's fine.
Wait until after the Euros 2024. Maybe.
We'll see what comes out of that.
Yeah.
But kind of a follow-on from that. So you've done this. You've had such success straight out of drama school, doing a one-man play that you've written. Do you want to do plays with other people, or that
No,
other people have
fuck
written?
them.
You're not going to be pigeonholed. You'll act with other people.
Of course I will.
But it's quite. I mean, it's a big thing to be on stage on your own.
It's no, it is.
Do you feel more confident doing it, knowing that the words are yours, so you can't screw them up?
We had that in rehearsals, didn't we? A little bit, because I was coming down, so I don't know the line, Sean. So I was making it up, and he was like, "Well, that's what you've written." Well, that probably makes sense. So I think it's scary. I'd love to be in other plays. Sean does wonderful work. He's doing a play called Sealboy at the moment. I've got to see at Riverside Studios, which is an ensemble piece, very much so, isn't it? And directed really well with lots of different actors. And to be in something like that where you're bouncing off other people, because this is quite lonely, to be honest. Like Sean's only in tonight for the Q&A. I've got lovely Ricky, the stage manager. But in Edinburgh, for example, it was really difficult because the stage manager was working 3 other jobs, so it was just me in a camper van basically just doing that. So it's quite lonely, and I really want to your question. Yes, I would love to.
Good.
It's so brave doing what you do.
It really is,
It's
really.
extraordinary brave, and it's so naked. The performance that you give really is so vulnerable.
Yes. One other thing, the title. I mean, that was genius. It's like as it says on the tin, it's like
Yeah.
title is how somebody refers to it. Did you think of any other titles, or you just thought, let's just go for it?
No, I wanted to call it Whilst I Can Flout Answering for marketing, really, just because of Edinburgh and like how hard that place is to really stand out.
Yeah.
But I did toy with the idea of just calling it Flair, because I think Flair for me is about showing a bigger side of something. It's like showing letting off steam, which I think is what the play's about.
Right.
Really kind of knobby way.
Yeah.
Flair's going to be the name of the TV adaptation.
If
right?
they're-
Make it happen.
So,
love it.
published playtext, and yes, could a TV adaptation be in the works?
Haven't published the playtext, no.
You tried.
We tried. No one.
I think people get slightly put off by the title. But
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe.
They're missing a marketing trick. Okay, so I think we. Oh, sorry. Yes, quick one, Raymond.
Yes. Why AFC Wimbledon? I have shares in AFC Wimbledon.
Oh.
My uncle Martin, he's an AFC Wimbledon fan. I'm so sorry.
There you go. He's calling you.
How it's gone.
Yeah, probably. Yes, so he's a massive AFC Wimbledon fan, so is my cousin Dan, and sorry, but I needed a team that was slightly not as good as Brentford. Because I feel like in the last 5 years, Brentford have gone on this amazing trajectory, and anyone that knows football might be like, yeah, I love the story that he's gone with, but doesn't Brentford get in the way of that because they're so good? It'd be like, they got promoted and stuff, so why is he not bothered about that? Do you know what I mean? It just felt weird to me, and I also wanted to distance the character a bit. So.
I don't think they have any ultras like. The last game I went to was when they were getting relegated from League 1 to League 2.
Right,
And the other side was shouting, why are you making this place a library? And all the Wimbledon fans went, shh.
Do you reckon this play is putting your stock price up or down?
We'll get back to you on that. Okay, so finally, this place
Lowry in Manchester before Edinburgh.
Okay,
Ooh.
lovely. Tell your Mancunian friends.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Euros. Where are you going to be watching?
Euros.
Yeah.
Euros, home. Home in England, but in the pub, obviously. I would
Yeah.
love to go to Germany. I did apply in the ballots, but didn't get anything back. So yeah, I quite like watching in the pub. I think you know, you're with everyone that you want to be with. And, yeah, it's nice. I'll be watching that.
And who's going to win?
I don't know. I actually like. Part of me doesn't want England to win just because I think it would ruin the players. Yeah, it's like Dear England. James Graham was saying that he wanted it to, you know, he was watching that France game when we got knocked out of the World
Yeah.
Cup, and he was like, well, what does that mean for the story now? That's meant to be the third act of the play, right? Of winning the World Cup. So yeah, I think
Would have been very helpful, wouldn't it?
yeah, it's still an amazing piece of theatre. But
Yeah.
just hopefully England. I would love it. I'd love it so much.
And do you have any predictions, Sean?
Who will win?
Yeah.
I'll say England. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Audience, you have been wonderful. As I said, you are now officially the fans of the show, the supporters club. Is that what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So you need to really spread the word. When we give them a big clap, I'm going to budge up. We're going to take some photos. For those of you on social media, please take and share. And for you, the man in the England with England, I need to talk to you afterwards.
Oh, sure. I'll stay. I'll sign a contract for you.